Hi, I'm Rochelle Harris. I'm the second vice president of the New York State Assessors Association and also the chair of the Assessment Tools Committee.
My name is Scott Shedler. I'm the chairman of the New York State Assessors Association Legislative Committee. I'm also on the New York State Executive Board. I'm an assessor for the town of Clarkstown, which is located in Rockland County, New York.
At our last conference, one of the hot topics for assessors throughout the state was the loophole law regarding condominiums. I'm going to turn it over to Scott to give you a little bit of background on what we're talking about.
So basically, the condominium loophole law deals with condominiums, how they're valued, and single-family homes. So across the state right now, condominiums are assessed differently than single-family homes. While you think that might be unfair, we totally agree. And what we're going to try to do is explain why it's actually not proper. Under Section 581 of the Real Property Law and Section 339Y of the Real Property Law, these laws actually create an exemption for condominium and co-op form of ownership. These laws, in essence, mandate that condominiums and co-ops form of ownership are valued differently. They tell us that we must value them according to the income approach, while traditionally single-family homes are valued according to sales comparison approach. That's like comparable homes compared to your home that then come up with a market value. The actual current law allows the condominiums to be valued on the income approach. And that approach actually undervalues these type of properties. Rochelle, if you could share some statistics on this issue.
Yes. A report issued by ORPS notes that although condos traditionally have been developed in multifamily buildings or in cluster townhouse-style developments, nothing in state law prevents single-family homes from being grouped as a condo development. All that's required is some commonly owned land or other assets. According to data collected by ORPS, between a 5-year period, the number of condominiums outside New York City increased by more than 14,000 units, compared to the growth of 5,000 units during the previous 5-year period. Based on those numbers, there are over 100,000 condominium units outside of New York City and more than 160,000 units within the city of New York alone.
Well, in addition to those statistics from the Office of Real Property Services, there's various studies that were conducted throughout the state. One of them was conducted by New York University's Furman Center. Furman Center put together an unbelievable report just a few years ago that was called Shifting the Burden. And what it did is it examined the undertaxation of some of the most valuable properties in New York State. And it talks about the policy brief that they actually put together features New York State real property tax law that we're discussing, and it basically discusses the severe and persistent undervalue of some of the most valuable co-ops and condo properties in the state. And the actual conclusion of the report is that New York State should change this law and actually go back and assess condominiums and co-ops the same way single-family homes are. The Furman Center's report is actually the most conclusive report that has been done recently.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to show you a few examples so you can see exactly how much of an impact this loophole has on the properties within New York State. The first property I would like to show you sold for $345,000. Its assessed value is $345,000. Taxes paid, $10,695. This home is assessed as a home, not as a condo. This next property I would like to show you has condo status. The selling price was $301,460. Its assessed value, $177,000. The taxes paid, $5,841. This next one sold for $314,000. Its assessed value, $311,400. Taxes paid, $10,276. This property is assessed as a home, not as a condo. Essentially here, you'll see the same exact home. This one has condo status. This one sold for $342,335. Its assessed value, $174,000. The taxes paid on this, almost half, $5,742. And one more, just to show you the true impact. Again, this house, this is assessed as a home, sold for $295,000. The assessed value, $289,000. The taxes paid, $9,535. This next slide shows a home with condo status. Again, essentially the same home. Sold for $418,000. The assessed value, $277,000. Taxes paid, $9,141. You might be wondering how this affects and impacts those who already have existing condo status. It won't. What we're asking is that they be grandfathered in and this new law take effect on January 1, 2018, to have the least effect on those who are already set, but to provide fairer assessments and taxes for future taxpayers.
So our next step really is solving the problem. It's pretty straightforward. What we need to do is we need to amend real property tax law, section 581 and 339. Why? By changing that, it'll allow condominiums and co-ops to be valued the same way single-family homes are, according to the market approach, the sales comparison approach. Therefore, all homes across New York State will be assessed fairly.
We thank you for taking the time to view our video. We hope that we have provided you with much information to help you understand this loophole law. If you have any further questions or would like to contact Scott or myself, you can find us at the New York State Assessors Association website.
I want to thank you also, and again, request that the legislature restore assessment equity by allowing condominiums and co-ops to be assessed as like other residential homes. Once again, thank you very much for taking the time today, listening to this informational video, and now you understand the vast differences on how condominiums and single-family homes are assessed across this state. Let's make sure that we can work together to make sure these assessments become fair and equitable across this great state of New York. Thank you.
Thank you.